This is where Sherlock Holmes lives in the Benedict Cumberbatch BBC adaptation. It's not actually on Baker Street, but then again, Sherlock Holmes isn't actually real.
Growing up in the 90s was the best time for British comedy you could possibly grow up in terms of the amount of amazing comedy on TV, from Fast Show to Shooting Stars to Father Ted, Royal Family. There was unbelievable amounts of good comedy during the 90s. I'd say, so the whole thing just meant that I think it was like every Friday on BBC Two and Channel 4, you're watching comedy. Harry Hill, Jack Dee, Frank Skinner, certainly Fantasy Football with Frank Skinner, and then I remember having his live VHS live in Birmingham, which was, I watched so much. Do you remember when a VHS would kind of go, roo, yeah.
Get on your knees! You have 3 seconds to comply. 1, 2,
3. If you wanted me back, you could have just asked me.
Now, Vin, many years ago, there was a man who had a dream. In the 90s, a film, £3,000. You wrote it, you directed it. Multifacial was the film that you started.
That's 100% right. See, not many people on the red carpet will mention multifacial. Well, this gentleman just did. He must be from Scotland.
Yo, I can't wait till I do enough real work, real acting work, but I don't have to sweat commercials. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see like Pacino doing potato chips or Denzel doing donuts.
I think anyone that wears their influences too heavily hasn't maybe watched enough comedy, and so I think you need to watch loads of different things so that you can then not pick up any of them, if that makes sense.
Case in point being Stuart Lee, when he was doing, you know how he said dissects jokes that say don't work to the audience, but of course they do because he's dissecting it. He says, you know, what's happened there, you laughed, you didn't. I would start seeing that in comedy clubs all around the place. It's like, don't stop.
When I was doing open mic, I'd say the most copied person was Stuart Lee.
Yeah.
I'd say even when I started, the first gigs I did, I sounded like Stuart Lee, because I didn't know what I was, you know, I was a big fan of Stuart Lee, would be another one. And you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you sound like.
Sometimes in life, we never stop to think how we got to somewhere from somewhere else.
That's
and
right.
Here we are at this amazing premiere for you.
Yes.
The same guy who did Multifacial.
That's right.
How do you look at the journey now when you're at somewhere like this?
I still have a ways to go.
Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
A great writer named Ross Leckie, who wrote a book called Hannibal, has been a part of this next promise that I made to the world, which is directing the trilogy of Hannibal Barca.
Nice one.
So until I get that done, I'm still working.
I've got to ask you, how many people are we talking to here? 46.6 thousand. It's Douglas Anderson here with Vin Diesel. We're having a chin wag, we're enjoying ourselves, and we've been speaking about the first film he ever did, which did for a £3,000 budget, $3,000 budget.
$3,000.
And look where the big is. This is you two could do this if you've got a bit of gumption and a good work ethic, and you're as good at Vin Diesel.
Well
Thank you, Vin.
said, my brother. Well said.
It's always nice to remember how he got from A to B to D to C.
I guess
Plus it as well, seems a very nice chap, and he seemed to like the fact that I was Scottish. I don't know how I'm going to tell him I only put this accent on for media opportunities, but yeah.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a big television.
You're a quiet, sensitive type. A little bit crazy, a little bit bad.
This is where Ewan McGregor runs into the car at the start of Trainspotting. It also features in Trainspotting 2, making it quite the cinematic double whammy. Since starring in The Last Leg, very successful show that you're one of the big names on, do people ever come up and ask you, what exactly is your disability?
They do all the time, yeah. I think now if you Google me, then you get if you Google me, then you get a, that's one of the, you get the words afterwards. I think disability is the first one to come up.
May I pepper our conversation with a personal anecdote?
Yeah, of course.
So you were presenting Fighting Talk, a BBC radio show, for a few years, and I'm a regular on that. Thoroughly enjoyed working with you on it.
Thank you.
And I used to sit there in the studio and sort of look at you and think, I can't figure out what it is.
So you thought?
I thought, but it's not the kind of thing you want to bring.
Yeah, of course.
So you hide it well. What's your disability, Josh? And I thought
So how many episodes was that for? Like quite a few?
Good 12.
Oh, what, the whole way through?
Yes.
Oh, really?
And I never knew. And
wow.
yeah.
So you think there's a lot of people doing that?
Now this is the film with quite the ensemble, but I just wonder that when Will Smith takes stock of his life in years to come, it won't be a film that's his most important achievement. This is discounting children, of course, childbirth, very important, but it'll be in fact being a pallbearer at Ali's funeral. Nothing to do with a film, but perhaps the most important moment in his life. You've got Ed Norton, who acted brilliantly at being a brilliant actor in Birdman. Of course, that actor in Birdman was a bit of an arse as well. I've only heard good things about Edward in real life.
Howard is a brilliant, creative, charismatic guy. He used to love life. Right now, he hates it.
Kate Winslet is in this, great actress, very down to earth, but she has a problem, and it's the blubbing at awards ceremonies. I just wonder if she should seek counselling or perhaps practice meditation, a bit like some people do in the lead up to their wedding when they're scared they're going to cry during the vows, because nobody wants to see the blubbing. A thank you to the crew, a thank you to the cast. You're off the stage, you're back next year. Winning. I think there's a lot of people that look at you and think, that guy is, he is spearheading a new revolution. I'm disabled, but I'm not going to get down about it.
I'm not going to mention it. I'm
not even going to show it.
No, exactly. So what were you thinking, legs?
I did. This sounds terrible.
Mental?
Yeah, I did think there might be some kind of mental disorder going on that you used comedy as a crutch, maybe.
Of course.
And then I thought, because you've got a very distinctive voice.
See, voice box disability.
I thought, is the voice a reaction or a result of something that's happened?
Well, I haven't got a throat.
I don't know. I was grasping at things. Has
this is a?
Did he fall? It affected something in his bones, but also his voice box. I didn't know.
Wow, but I was a very brave little soldier with the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't think I was the only person to come on that show that went through the same cogitations.
No, I'm sure you weren't.
So just to make it clear, because if you're still getting asked about this to this day, Josh Widdicombe doesn't suffer from a disability
per se
that we know of.
That we know of.
But if he did, my God, the laddie hides it well. Hello there, don't forget to like our pages, to follow us and subscribe to our channel. That way you won't miss anything we're doing. Anything. Because what we're doing is for you, and if I may say so, a pleasure it is too.